Hello and welcome back to another exciting episode. Now, last time I did a fermented beet recipe and we just finished that up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of those containers and we're going to do an experiment with a Dutch beet recipe, which is a sweet recipe. So I invite you to come along with me. Oh, before I forget, if you can please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/ResslerMania. We'd really appreciate it. And also, if you can subscribe and share, we'd also appreciate that because we really like to see those numbers rise. So without further ado, let's see what can happen with a beet recipe, the Dutch version. So with this, we're going to be using, again, brown sugar. Here we have the organic brown sugars. And we're going to use regular sugar. Now this is a unbleached, this regular sugar. So first step I'm going to try to do, go ahead and open that up. Looks good. We're going to drain some of that juice off. There we go. Make a little bit of room for us to work. Go ahead and put a little more salt in there to spur the fermentation a little more. Not a whole lot. That's about, by eyeing it up, I'd say it's about a quarter teaspoon. Now with the recipe, I think I said this before, maybe not, but with the Dutch recipe, you usually put in for a huge, I guess they call it a 2-gallon container when they actually do it normally. What they do is they put 2 cups of brown sugar and 2 cups of regular sugar in it. It's really sweet. But obviously, because of the fermentation process, I don't want to put that much in. So I'm just going to take a regular tablespoon. I'm only going to put 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. 1 tablespoon of regular unbleached granulated sugar. Oops. Then we go ahead, pour this back in. Perfect. Of course, I'll have to clean that up a little bit later. Make sure that's nice and clean. Put the cap back on nice and tight. And now we're going to let this sit for another week. Now it's either going to come out fantastic and taste like the original Dutch recipe, or I've just ruined a couple weeks of work already. So we'll see. Okay, here we are again, 1 week later. See how this does. The sugar did not do anything with the fermentation, so I thought it might slow that down quite a bit, but it didn't. Take a little piece out here. Okay. It is a tiny bit sweeter, that's for sure, but it's not anywhere near the Dutch version that I was talking about. So what I'm going to do I'm going to push this aside. As you see from the corner here, I do have my 1 tablespoon measuring spoon. We're going to go ahead and we're going to double what we had in there before. So we already put one, well, we're not going to put any more salt in, but you saw that we put 1 tablespoon of regular sugar in. So I'm going to put 1 more in. So a total of 2, 1 from last week and 1 today. And see if I can get a shot of it there. Yep. So we're going to put some brown sugar in here as well. There we go. 1 tablespoon of that as well. So again, as total, then from last week and this week for this experiment, it's going to be 2 tablespoons then for regular sugar, the non-bleached granulated, and of course now 2 tablespoons of the brown sugar. So we're going to go ahead and give this 1 more week. Come back and see if it's any better. Okay, let's try this again. Definitely a little syrupy, which is pretty good, I think. Stir nice and crisp. Definitely not the Dutch version. It's sweeter, so I'd say it's sweeter than, of course, the regular fermented beets, but definitely not Dutch version. So I would say this is probably a fail, but it was worth a shot. I mean, I'm going to eat it. It's not a complete fail, but it's not anywhere near what I hoped. So, as I said with these type of videos, sometimes we're going to do great things, sometimes not so much. This is one of those, not so much. So, but I thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.